Hello boys and girls, and welcome to Fun Time with Teacher Caro. Another interesting time as usual. Welcome to our story time. And today we are going to have another interesting story of Mr. Lion being the king of the jungle. Animals, animals, God made the animals. Great big animals, small, small animals. These are the animals that I know. Somebody said lion, yes. Elephant, yes. Zebra, yes. Mouse, yes. Tortoise, yes. Animals, animals, God made the animals. Great big animals, small, small animals. These are the animals that I know. And all these big animals and small animals obeyed Mr. Lion very much, because boys and girls, we said what? Mr. Lion is the king of the jungle. And this time, Mr. Lion called for a meeting. And Mr. Hare was the spokesperson to the animals. And Mr. Hare went to all the animals telling them, listen, on this day, Mr. Lion wants to see all of you in the field. They had a place where they met. And all the animals were very obedient, boys and girls. And remember, we usually say that you need to be obedient. Now, this day, every animal attended the meeting, and Mr. Lion was very happy. Remember, when you are a king and everybody comes to the meeting, when everybody comes to a meeting, when you call them, you feel so happy. And Mr. Lion was like, oh, thank you, the animals, for coming to the meeting today. And this time round, the meeting was very different from the other meeting that he had. Remember, the last meeting they had was for every animal to bring a meat or a meal to him. But this time, it was a meeting of fun, because Mr. Lion wanted to conduct a race. He said, you animals will become very lazy. You don't work out nowadays. You just hunt and sleep. And today we are going to have a race. And this time, the animals were very happy. Mr. Rabbit jumped and he hopped and said, yeah, yeah, I'll be the first one in the race. And the animals were told to choose the other animal that you wanted to race with. And Mr. Rabbit quickly said, I'm going to race with Mr. Tortoise. When Mr. Tortoise heard that, remember, Mr. Tortoise is a very slow animal. He walks like this slow step. Tortoise, tortoise, walks very slowly. Tortoise, tortoise is a very slow animal. And Mr. Hare chose to race with Mr. Tortoise. And Mr. Hare knew that definitely I will win Mr. Tortoise, just like that. And the animals went home. They were all put in group. So Mr. Tortoise was to race with Mr. Hare. And the next day was the day of race. So every animal came dressed in sport attire, the way we dress during our sport games day. So this time, Mr. Hare didn't even get tired of looking for the attires, because he knew definitely Mr. Toto is a very slow animal. I'm just going to win him. And this time, Mr. Tortoise was very confident. He said, I'm going to win Mr. Hare. And all the animals told Mr. Tortoise, don't worry, Tortoise. The rabbit tapped Mr. Tortoise and told him, don't worry, you're going to win. And many animals told Mr. Tortoise, just come prepared tomorrow, you're going to win. Mr. Hare was like, I will just win Mr. Tortoise just like this. And now it was time for the race. And Mr. Lion, because he's the king of the jungle, conducted the race. And he said, all the animals, on your marks, get set, and go. And it was the time for Mr. Hare and Tortoise. And Mr. Hare ran very fast and went and looked back and saw Mr. Toto is coming very slowly but sure. And Mr. Hare said, this horned tortoise, I'll not even run. I'm just going to sleep here and wait because it's going to take too long to reach me where I am. And Mr. Hare slept. And the sleep was so good. And he slept and he started snoring. And Mr. Tortoise was just, when Mr. Hare was sleeping, Mr. Tortoise was just coming slowly but sure. He did not stop anywhere. And this time, Mr. Tortoise reached or arrived where Mr. Hare was sleeping. And quietly, he hopped slowly and he went and passed Mr. Hare. Mr. Hare was still sleeping. And this time, when Mr. Hare opened the eyes, he saw Mr. Tortoise almost at this finishing line of the race. And Mr. Tortoise, Mr. Hare trying to run as the leg could carry him, but he could not reach Mr. Tortoise. And you know what, boys and girls? Mr. Tortoise won the race. He won Mr. Hare, and Mr. Hare went and cried and said, I'm very foolish. How can Mr. Tortoise won me? How can I sleep? And Mr. Tortoise was celebrated by all the animals. And Mr. Hare was very unhappy about it. And Mr. Lion told Mr. Hare, Mr. Hare, I think you've been very clever. What happened this time? And Mr. Hare said, I'm sorry, Mr. Lion. This time, I'm not the clever animal as you think. And Mr. Tortoise won the race. And now, boys and girls, who can tell me the lesson that you've learned from the story? Yes, Shadrach. Shadrach is saying that you should not look down upon other people. Very true, Shadrach. Very well done, well done. Try again another day, a very good boy. For sure, you should not look upon other people, because this time Mr. Hare looked on Mr. Tortoise and said that Mr. Tortoise is very slow, cannot win him. And for sure, Mr. Tortoise won him. So boys and girls, don't look on other people, or don't say that, oh, this child is not able, oh, this child cannot do this. We are all equal in the eyes of God, and God has blessed us in different ways. So every time you see you see another child doing something that is not right, please correct that person with a lot of love, because God is love. So when you see the animals, remember God is love. So when you see the animals, remember God is love. God is love. Remember God is love. God is love. Remember God is love. God is love. Boys and girls, remember that God is love. I love you very much. Please remember to subscribe, to like, and share my videos. Thank you and bye-bye. See you later.